Okay, here is truly our first lesson in solving equations. Now, this is a mouthful. So our unit is equations. We're learning how to solve for x, finding out what the variable x is equal to in an equation. Now, these equations will have addition and subtraction, and these will be one-step problems instead of two or more steps. Okay? All right. Now, solving for x. What does that mean? The key point of solving for x is you always want to end your problem with x by itself on one side of the equal sign, like this. X is by itself. X equals 7. You have solved what x is equal to, what number it's equal to on this problem. And sometimes x may be on the right side. That's fine. You have solved x by itself is equal to 54. You then have successfully solved which number x is supposed to be. Okay? Now let's just go over a phrase that is part of our academic vocabulary. Inverse operation. Inverse operation means the opposite sign. This is used when we have to solve for x. Okay? So if we have to solve for this x plus 7 equals 15, we are going to use the inverse operation to solve this by saying, what's the inverse or opposite of plus 7 minus 7? And then we're going to do that both sides. And so we're going to get 8 here, and we'll bring the x down here. X equals 8. Ta-da! We found what x is equal to, but we needed to know the inverse operation of plus. Right here, x minus 9. What's the inverse operation of minus? Plus. Plus is the opposite of that, so we plus 9, and what are we going to do? We're going to plus 9 both sides. 29. X equals 29. Okay? All right. Now, x plus 5 equals 20. Well, to solve this, we say we want to get x by itself here. How do we get x by itself? We subtract 5. Now, what this means is, adding 5, subtracting 5, we really get x plus 0. And what is x plus 0? X by itself. Now, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to both sides. So 20 cents minus a nickel, that's 15 cents. X is equal to 15. Now, let's see if this makes sense. This is called checking your work. X is equal to 15. Come back and put 15 here. What's 15 plus 5? 20. We did it. Now, let's come here. Uh-oh, there's going to be some tough math. How do we get x by itself? We have to subtract 77, because what's 77 minus 77? 0. What's x plus 0? X by itself. Now, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to both sides. Minus 77. Now, we need to be careful, okay? So, we borrow from here a 10. And we go 14 minus 7 is 7. Borrow here. And then basically this is just 12 minus 7 is 5. And then a 1 here. X is equal to 157. If we wanted to see if that is equal when we put this in for x here, we go 157 plus 77 is 14. 3, 2, 3. There it is. It's equal. We solved it. Now, let's go to subtraction. It's the same idea. How do we get x by itself? Well, minus 4, add 4. What is 4 minus 4? That's x minus 0, or x plus 0. And we know that anything plus or minus 0 is simply itself. But whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. 9 plus 4 is 13. Let's check our work. 13 minus 4 is 9. Check. Okay? Let's come down here. How do we get x by itself? We add 44. 44 minus 44 is 0. But we got to do the same to both sides. Okay? Now we're going to go 8 plus 4 is 12. Let's carry a 1. 12, let's carry a 1. 222. So 222 is x. Let's go ahead and see if we did our math right. Okay, borrow 1, 12, 8. Borrow 1, 11, 7, 178. 178. Hey, we checked our work. Okay? Now, for those of you who need a little helpful reminder to learn how to memorize things, I have something called 4 words BS pattern. Okay? The last 2 words always start with BS. And then the first one is your inverse operation, and the second one is the number. So let's say we had something where it was x plus 5. Well, what's the inverse operation of plus? Minus. You write the 5 right here, and then BS stands for both sides. Minus or subtract 5, both sides. Okay? Now, let's take that concept, 4 words BS pattern, to right here. Watch this. Plus 12. Opposite is subtract 12, both sides. Subtract 12, both sides. And so we get x equals, when we do the math, 18. Let's look here. Subtract 12. What's the opposite of that? Add 12, both sides. Add 12, both sides. So we get x equals, when we add that, 42. Okay? Right here. Minus 27. Add 27, both sides. Add 27. Add 27, both sides. X equals 85. That helps us to memorize what we need to do. Okay? 4 words BS pattern. We do the opposite sign of what we're given, then the number, then the words both sides. Okay? So here we go. So plus 13, minus 13, both sides. So we get x equals 28. Next one. Oh, now, watch this. The x is here, but the 5 is here. Now we say this. What is that 5? Positive or negative? Well, that's a positive 5. That basically is a plus 5. How do we get rid of a 5? We subtract 5, both sides. X is equal to 12. Now let's check that. What is 5 plus 12? 17. Ta-da, it works. Okay, let's take a bigger number. How do we get rid of that? Subtract 76. What's 76 minus 76? 0. 0 plus x is x. Now, we have to subtract 76. We got to borrow. 11, 1, 9. 11 minus 7 is 4. X is 49. Okay? Last sheet. 17. Ooh, the x is on the right side. How do we get rid of plus 9? Minus 9. 17 minus 9 is 8. Now, x is equal to 8. Let's go ahead and check it. 17 is equal to 8 plus 9. Check. Oh, x is on the right side again. Okay, here, minus 18. We have to do the inverse, plus 18 both sides. 49 equals x. We found it. And last problem here. 15 plus x. How do we get rid of the 15? Subtract 15. Subtract 15. And when we borrow, we get 37 is equal to x. And if we put 37 here, when we add those two, it is equal to 52. Check. And that's how we do plus and minus for solving equations.